remember that for Sundowns to get the second spot, it was because of the hard work of Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
When Pirates went to Lubumbashi, I think they left. They were escaping from there. But how does it impact South African football in terms of so little teams being able to get through to the knockout stages?
Yeah, I think for now we're in a good position where over the last couple of years we've had a lot of participation from our teams. So it's not a big concern. But the only concern obviously is we've dropped from third position to fourth position, being overtaken by Algeria. And it's hard to argue that now because if you look at it, you say Sundowns is the only team that made it out the group stages, right? And obviously Pirates got eliminated before. Stellies and Chiefs are out now. So points are allocated to that. And the further you go, the more points you have. So if you look at it now, we'll say Champions League, you get 6 points for winning Champions League, right? Confed, you get 5 points for winning Confed. And then you subtract 1 point as you go out early in the competition. So the group stage, number 4 in the Champions League gets 1 point. So the scale from number 4 in your group to winning the Champions League is from 1 point to 6 points. You know, and then in Confed it's 0.5 points for finishing 4th, up to 5 points winning Confed. So if you look at it, Sundowns currently is on 3 points now for getting out the group. You know, it can get more the further they go in the competition. But right now Sundowns is on 3 points. Chiefs finishing 3rd in their group, they got 1 point. Right, and then Stellies finished last in their group. They got half a point. So collectively, as the PSL or South African League, we got 4.5 points. You know, if you look at Algeria now, you had MC Alger, Coach Rulani's team that Sundowns eliminated now, or they didn't make it through the group. They finished 3rd in the group, correct? So they get 2 points. Right, and then you have in the Confed, you had USMA. And you had Belouizdad, who both won their groups. So they're already on 2 points now as it is. So currently they got 6 points. Plus there's one more Algerian team I'm missing now, JS Kabylie, who finished last in their group. They got a point. So Algeria has 7 points. And then we've got 4.5. And how it works is the points are scaled by year. So the points you get this season are multiplied by 5. The points you had last season are multiplied by 4. The points you had 3 seasons ago are multiplied by 3. The points you had 4 seasons ago are multiplied by 2. And the points you got 5 seasons ago is multiplied by 1. So we were 1 point ahead of Algeria coming into this Champions League. But now if you just say we're on 4.5 times 5, that's 22 points. They're on 7 times 5, that's 35 points. So that's why they've now overtaken us. Right. So the major shift would be, because the top 12 teams are allowed to have 2 Champions League teams and 2 Confed teams. So the major change is really at the bottom. You know, so Nigeria has actually just overtaken Libya. So next season's Champions League, Libya will have one team in Champions League and Confed, and Nigeria will have 2 in each competition.
While we're still on that one, the same points, those are the points to the Club World Cup.
Yes, but that'll be on an individual basis as a team, not as a league. So like right now, Al Ahly is, over the last 5 years, has the most points, right? And Sundowns is 2nd. But those points only apply if there's the same winner of a Champions League. So like right now, Pyramids is going to the Club World Cup. If 3 different other teams win the Champions League, then those 4 teams go, irrespective of what the points say. So the only reason like why Sundowns and Sundowns and Esperance went last time is because Al Ahly won 3 Champions Leagues and Wydad won 1. So they had to find 2 other teams. So then it went to points. So points doesn't guarantee you entry. You have to win a Champions League to book your ticket.
But it's important that South African team takes this thing seriously. We need Makosi to lift up their game. We need Buccaneers to lift up their game. Stellies, man, whoever replaces them, because they can still enter through Nedbank.
They can still go through Nedbank. And let's be really honest about it. The 3 consistent teams in African competition over the last 3 years is Sundowns, Pirates, and Stellies. So I would like Stellies to do well, even if they get to the final, for example, of Nedbank, and whether they win it or not. But if you have currently number 1 and 2 in our league is Chiefs and Pirates, it's Pirates and Sundowns. If you're playing them in the final, you automatically guaranteed, because they'll take the Champions League spots
any day.
You know, so for me, I would like Stellies to get to the final, because at least it will put them back in CAF. Whether they want to be there is another story, but it will put them there.
So it's very safe to say Bramuswa Vets does not exist anymore. So we must just get him a Stellis shirt because he's showing his colors. But that's also important because looking at that, Pratsepo, it brings us to where the league is at the moment. Mapagania, 6 points ahead of everybody. Catch us if you can. The chasing pack.
Like I said, Mpoza, Haribula, this show. I've been waiting to see the Sundowns was playing a weekend. For a very long time, the Sundowns and the weekend. I mean, everything for it to change. But the question they keep on is this thing they playing the former coach. Now they want to show the coach we still have the whatever we
or it's because we may be knocked out.
You see, or maybe it's because but we can't. Every time we always go out of the group and play knockout football. Maybe. But the hope we're going to see the Sundowns go FNB stadium. Like win among but we want to see that pound football. Pirates the football and then you see the Sundowns early any weekend.
But Bramusi, I'll say the following.
Yeah.
Pirates versus Chiefs, marquee game of the season for South African football. But for footballing reasons, Sundowns versus Pirates has become the fixture that it becomes a must watch to be able to enjoy what it does because one of those two has ended up being the champion.
Yeah.
The thing about chasing, what is it that Pirates needs to do to be able to say they'll stay here? Because sometimes being at the top is not so easy.
Yeah, I guess there's two ways to look at it. Like, if you're at the top, if you ask me, I'd rather be in first place, right? Than having to
points
chase
in
someone.
hands and everything.
So all they have to do is carry on doing what they're doing. Don't do anything different. You know, obviously sometimes maybe pressure builds up because games start to become more critical. You know, if you're going in a game that you expect to win and it's 0-0 at 85 minutes, how do you react in that last 5 minutes? You know, so I'd rather be in that position of being first. And the nice thing about it is, the people who are chasing you, you still have to play them. So it's technically it's in your hands. I mean, they've got Sundowns and Chiefs coming up soon, who are number 2 and 3 in the league as it stands, right? So beating both of them, it just solidifies your spot there, you know, because there is something to beating the person who you're competing with.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And sorry, just the last part is you know, you're gonna have to overcome certain obstacles to get those victories. For me personally, at a certain point, when you're chasing a title, playing and looking good is important, but the result is more important. And the grit that it takes and the determination might not look pretty. Yeah, but
it doesn't have to be pretty. It must get the job done.
But it must get the job done.
Bratsep, looking at this, I hear Bramusi wants to be able to be at the top. Yeah. But at times, I mean, you've got Sundowns who have chased before. I think just COVID chasing. You'd remember Chiefs was at the top for 12 months. And then Sundowns came in.
The Lord Kampala moment.
Because Chiefs was playing, it was
that
COVID.
Kampala. Oh, yeah.
Chiefs was playing Baroka there. Right?
Yes.
And we were playing Swallows. We were playing Dobsonville Black Leopards.
Yes.
And we needed to win 5-0. Right? So I was sitting in the stands with my phone watching this game live. And the stade's empty again.
Yeah.
When Kampala scored, they just heard me scream. Yeah! The whole bench, if you watch the video, the bench turns around. It's like,
what happened?
And I'm like, no, I'm seeing this thing live. I'm seeing this thing live. You know?
So you experienced the movie live.
Yeah, no.
But Bratsepo, now, what does the number 2 and the number 3? Because it means that Chiefs and Sundowns, they cannot afford slip-ups.
That's the thing. No, the season. So mo season inyela hore ke dlala jang I set up. Especially the number 1. But only number 1 break yone sentle mpoza. So only number 1. So tshwanetse to etsa everything e tlhokang football. So tshwanetse to dlala grant, o be discipline, o win at the end.
Yeah.
Only number 2, the pressure is on you. Because now, olelekisitse someone modimo ga gago. And then you need to equalize and then you need to win the match. So odlala ka this thing ela horeng e skunje a draw or a lose.
Yeah.
How number 3, you just hoy everything there. You just hoy everything there.
And hope for the best.
Yeah, you just hoy everything there.
Maratamus, it means then, therefore, one of the things that you need to be able to do, because certain things become important, even the small things. Do you play on a Friday? Do you play on a Saturday? Do you play on a Sunday? Do you want a midweek game? How does that work? Because that pressure.
That you see, again, that comes with the experience of the team, right? Because let's say I'm in top spot. Right? Yeah. If I'm top spot, I want to play first. I want to play first. If I can play Friday or Saturday afternoon, I want to play then. Okay. I want to, whether it's a game in hand, it doesn't matter. But if I can make that gap bigger on you, I do that. Because if you're 3 points behind me and I play on a Friday night and win, I'm 6 points ahead of you. Irrespective of I've got the game in hand. So Saturday, your players of the other teams, if they're not emotionally intelligent, if they're not coached the right way, they come into the game not even thinking about the tactics. They think about, we have to, what's happening. We have to, now it's 70 minutes, 0-0. Oh, mistake, 1-0 down. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm leading, I want to play first. If I'm chasing, I want to play first.
Okay.
So I for me, that's key.
So, so only mu teaming earlier, ya Gavin Hunt.
No. He was. Remember when Gavin Hunt was watching? Because I remember Vets were watching on the field when. Because you'd remember Sundowns even put out the tweet. I remember the late Tulani Tusa, may soul rest in peace. They even put out the tweet. We know where the trophy went. Yeah. We'll go and fetch it. And Sundowns won it the following season.
Oh yes.
So you've been where you've watched it and hoped that Vets will slip up.
Yeah.
And you've been where you've watched it and you've chased it twice.
Yeah, twice. The first one was when we won in 2013, 14 season. I think there were 10 games left and we were 10 points behind.
That was Absa.
Yeah, there were 10 games left and we were 10 points behind. And out of the 10 games, we won 9 of them 1-0. And then we beat Free State Stars 2-1. Go Putarichao.
So what you're saying, Makosi, with this 1-0 winning, do not despair. It can work for you. It doesn't have to be pretty. 1-0, as long as at the end of the day you get 3 points.
Is 3 points.
Because sometimes, and especially from a footballing perspective, people may want a spectacle. It doesn't have to be pretty.
Yeah.
Momentum. Like you see Pirates. Lately, they cruising nicely. So when how nearly that combination,
okay.
But
the thing is, and Tamusi, we're relying a lot on your experience.
Yeah.
I had coaches complaining, saying, hey, people are tired, others are resting. Now, number 1 has got the league and Nedbank.
Yeah.
Number 2 has got the league, Nedbank, and Champions League.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 3, Mapensela says Bawashil. They used washing powder. Therefore, they only have the league. Who's prime? Is it better when you? Because obviously, when you're winning, you want to play as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
If you have some issues, you may want to be able to. Because you'd remember, I've heard coaches say, "Hey, there's no time to train.
Yeah.
You are in, change, pack, and go."
Yeah.
Or do you want to be able to say 1 game a weekend or any other thing? Those things.
You just have to play the situation you're in. And when a team starts a season knowing they're going to compete for 5 trophies, they set up their squad in a way that can accommodate 5 trophies, right? Whether it's Champions League, Club World Cup, whatever is Super Cup, all those things, and the local leagues, Carling Cup, and etc. You set up your team that way. If you expect your team to be in 3 competitions, maybe you set up that way. And so, for me, the issue of rest, at the end of the day, the season is from August to May. That doesn't change. So
you still have to condition yourself.
Yeah. So whichever team you are, whatever space you're in, you have to adjust to that. And if you find you're playing in more competitions, then you're gonna have less rest. That's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal. So
you play more games than anybody else.
100%. And for me, I have a saying which I heard before. It says pressure is a privilege, right? So if you don't have pressure, it means maybe you're playing for nothing. People who have pressure are playing for a lot. So there's ways to manage fatigue. And also, I don't take press conferences really seriously because there's a lot of mind games going on there. There's a lot of shifting of maybe stress or points from people, external forces, or whatever the case may be. So I don't take press conferences seriously, because I think the teams that are participating in the tournaments they're participating in have the squads to deal with those tournaments.
Quality squad is important, bro.
Too much. That's why every time we total a break or total opportunity, ya go sign. Make sure you feel where you think always have an extra player on the same position, so that anytime I leave replace.
I mean, remember, Pratsepa, we spoke about this. One of the things we said is that Pirates have got squad depth, because if they bench one, it doesn't mean they're giving up quality. It may be something else, but it allows the team to be able to still be fluid in terms of winning and moving forward.
Yeah, but I think the top three. The top three. I think the top three. The team I think they're ready to compete. Imposer. You look at Pirates. I think it's because Pirates go to the league and then they win every weekend. But we look at Mamelodi Sundowns. They also have everything in position. Same thing to Kaizer Chiefs. Panale squad is a compete anything. I think it's just Babile unlucky not to be on the position where they win their matches or they go with the tournament, especially Confed, which is they will go through to the next round.
And I don't want to be unpopular. You say Kaizer Chiefs has got the squad. I'm not sure.
No, they do.
Maybe Chislett will play, because Chislett, ever since the season started, was not. Mara, here's what I will ask. Bramus, you've got a squad like Sundowns.
Yeah.
They know how to win the league.
Yeah.
They know how to run a marathon in the Champions League. You've got a squad like Orlando Pirates that is built for Champions League, because I believe everything that they were built for Champions League.
Yeah.
The experience versus the being there. How important is that squad depth in terms of, because like Pratsepa says, if you, for example, have one player that's injured, the fact that you are part of the senior team, be it 35 or 40 or whatever is in your squad,
champion.
Because you could be injured in the semi-finals of the Champions League. You could be injured in the your key player could be injured in the finals.
Yeah. So every team in our league has 3 avenues of getting players. Right? You're either going to sign international players, you're going to sign local players, or you're going to promote your players. So the rules are fair for everybody. Right? So I just feel that the squads are prepared in a certain way. Like out of the 3 teams, there's one squad that predominantly has local-based players. I think if you looked at Pirates' last game, the entire starting 11 is South African. Yeah. Right? If you look at Sundowns' last game, obviously they have the internationals they've brought in. And Pirates has also brought in internationals. But it seems like they found their rhythm with a mainly South African-based team. Yeah. And Chiefs has also like the mix of local and international. And so nobody is shortchanged in terms of how you can get players. Obviously, it comes down to the club philosophy. It comes down to scouting. It comes down to all those things about which players you bring in. And then people speak about experience. My argument with experience is the only way you get experience is by doing it. So when we were at Sundowns in 2013, we hadn't won the league, so we didn't have experience to win the league, but we won the league. You get what I'm saying? So you get experience of winning the league by winning the league. There's no other way.
There's no other way.
So when I'm saying people are like, yeah, Sundowns have the experience, or this team has the experience, or everybody plays football. So it's obviously a benefit for players who've been there before. It's obviously a benefit if you have a coach who's been there before. But there's nothing to discount the team that hasn't done it.
Yeah, true. The pyramid coach.
Exactly.
The pyramid coach went through.
Not a lot. Yes. It was the first time.
Won Champions League, won the Super Cup or whatever,
Having said that, how important is to manage the team? Because within the team, you've got dynamics of, you look at Pirates. If you don't play Apollos, you can play Rayleigh or Moremi there. Those dynamics within the team, if you're looking at Sundowns, if you don't play Allende, you're playing Jaden. You look... Okay, good Chiefs, I don't know the first 11. We're still trying to figure it out. No, Mara, they play together.
Yes, they... let's
talk about depth.
The depth
because when you're looking at that depth, Just because you've taken out a Rayleigh or a Moremi does not mean you've taken down the quality.
But my argument is, how do you get to third in the league without depth? So they have depth. Maybe it's not the names you want or the names that are familiar, but they have. You don't get to third by just playing 11 players.
Our phone number 3.
Exactly. And they were participating in Africa as well. So it means they have depth. You know, maybe it's not well-known players or it's not, you know,
international players.
So yeah, but they do. You can't get the PSL is not a experimentation league where teams out of the blue achieve. No, you work to achieve in the PSL.
We look at this thing and the derby for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I know the derby is like the Durban July. Everybody wants to go there. It's beautiful and all that. But for the longest of time, the derby has no impact on who wins the league. But for the first time this season, the 2 derby games are going to be very important.
The last derby, it was a final, a Nedbank. So you come to this derby. Every time I paraded the Chiefs, there was nothing yet. Because Sundowns say accumulated everything. Sundowns say it's again it's 2 fellow reclaim league. But this time, I think Rebuela go derby early. There's something here go tlalelwang. Harry fela ka ring, but we can't lose for Pirates. Whatever go re tlalang, re ada go ring.
We can get there.
Let's beat them so that re tsebe go ring re go godimo, or let's beat them so that re tsebe go ring re shota ka 3 points or re ba tshware.
Yeah.
And you've still got another one later.
Yeah. So and for me, you know, like we said, there's the derby happening, but think of the top 3 as a mini group. Right? We're going to play each other. Who's going to get the most points out of this group? You know, so for example, if I get 4 points out of those 2 opponents that I play, is that good? If I get 6 points, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a mini group because they're all basically vying for the same prize right now, which is the league title, right? So it's going to come down to that. And like you guys say, the derby now is, you know, is maybe going to fulfill its full potential in terms of not just as a spectacle for fans, but actually there's something tangible on the line, you know? But again, it's important, especially if you're protecting something, not to get carried away with that. You know,
emotions must not.
You know, there's many a game where you still have to look at it as a game, irrespective of the noise. And that's one thing: the noise outside is always bigger than the noise inside, right? So externally, it will always be massive because the public, the media, all these things. But inside, you have to control the emotions. You have to. It's still 3 points.
The technical team have got to be very.
It's still 3 points at the end of the day. And it's easy to say that, but you know, I guess that's also what like the difference with, you know, like when people ask, what's so special about head coaches or whatever? Head coaches are able to manage those things and manage that stress and take it away from the players and put it on themselves.
I think one of the things, Bratepo, is that for me, from a technical team perspective, it's important to have the right people in the technical team.
Too much.
I'll give you a reason as to why. You watch Chiefs play Al Masri in Polokwane. Chiefs could have gone for the jugular, but there didn't seem to be messages coming from Musi. Were good with those messages, but hey, Dennis, Iwada. And then messages go across.
I don't know what you're talking about.
but it was match awareness, the situation around you, that awareness becomes very, very important.
Remember, Mpoza, last time when I talk about the good scouting, or the Kalada. So those who Baba Tamayamba Rumi were ring, Tamalo Shaba left back, right back, Tamalo Shaba striker, midfielder, Simula Gabon. And then a bit of a management. How do you manage the squad? Once the best from that squad. It's very important. But the important part and manage.
From a technical perspective, as much as you say the noise outside is louder than the noise inside, it's still important to know the dynamics. Let's say we get to where it's within 3 points, it's within 2 points. Do you feed that information to players? How that management becomes very key.
Yeah. So, but when you start the season, you should have a target that you're vying for, right? And that target, it should be superior to what's happening on the league table. So I'll give you an example. if you decide you want to get 60 points in the league, right? How do you get 60 points? We need to get on average 2 points a game. How does 2 points a game look? It looks like, okay, every 3 games, draw 1, win 1, lose 1. That's 4 points. Times 10, whatever the case is.
Yes.
You know, you get to whatever the calculations are that you feel.
Whatever,
Right.
if it's 5 games,
If it's 5 games, every 5 games, we need 10 points, you know? So you calculate that, 6 blocks of 5, that gives you 6 or whatever the case, 60 or whatever the case is. My maths is not mathing, but you have those targets. So if you have your targets for the we need, I mean, if you look at the league over the last 5 years, you can tell how many points I needed to win.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously it was higher because the gap from number 1 to 2 was a lot.
Yes.
But this season is different.
No.
You know, I could be performing exactly the same as last season, but find myself in number 1. I could be performing exactly the same as last season and find myself number 2. Because maybe who was number 1 previously is not performing as well and they've dropped.
Bramusi, it's not I could be.
You know.
Sundowns has dropped. Pirates have been consistent because when you look at their points, they're exactly within a point of where they used to be last season. Whereas Sundowns are 8 points from where they used to be last season. Whereas Kaizer Chiefs have now improved. So that's the graph that it is at the moment. But those things become very, very important. I am tempted to say Bafwetu, I need a winner for Wednesday night. I know.
No, wait.
I know that one of my people called him do. He'll
O tla re latlhela go tla sa ba se ra tla da. So ba tlang go itsebang ke Bramusi.
Yeah.
Ha re bua ka ho accumulate the points. Now let's say we got a board and then we write all 16 teams here.
Yeah.
A gona le tse o reng mo 3. Mo 3. Or ke tabela hore we go into Polokwane, we know Polokwane ya chase.
Yeah.
Let's settle for a draw.
You know, I'm not going to lie. There's been moments where we've set out and said, in this block, let's try get 15 points because of maybe the opponents. And we end up coming out with 8 points. And in the block where you like, you know, this block is where we need to get 10 points, we come out with 15. So we do set those targets. But again, you know, as the season progresses, maybe key players get injured. Maybe a key player suspended. You know, maybe that team, like you say, you know, like I remember there's a few seasons ago, there was a season where, you know, Bloom Celtic started like crazy. Like the first 6-7 games, they were gone.
And so we can say
yeah, and you know, and then I think they just survived relegation or whatever. You know, but you also have to see how the teams are performing. You find the team in good form, you know. But the position we were at was that we need to try to win every game. That's the standard that we had set for ourselves. Although we know it's impossible to win every game, but it's the standard we had set out for ourselves. But if all else fails, this is our minimum target. You know, that should guarantee us the league. You know, and sometimes, you know, it did not matter about beating whoever you're playing against in terms of your rivals. But I think this season more than ever, it matters to beat the teams you're competing with.
No, it is very important. Because Bratepo, understand the following thing. There's 2 derby games that still have to be played.
True.
Sundowns is playing Pirates. They could be crossing over the Jacks K. This is reality. This is not me. They could just be bringing the trophy to Soweto. Or they could be saying, if you want it, come and take it. And Sundowns still has to play Kaizer Chiefs.
Mfana maruboni first touch arele. Uboni ya Themba Mshishi. Uboni di first touch sele.
Iboni ya Chislit. Sorry, I say Iboni ya
Chislit. Last 16 Orlando Pirates were playing cheaper 2 seasons back. Sergio Kemis against Rele Mofokeng. The same thing yentsweng ke Themba Zwaneka weekend. Earlier hore ke o kena mfana and then abashaya the 10. La re ke mona mdu 360. Yeah. Rele ashaya ra edinyiwa. Mshesha ishaya. So ka usane mfana madi aka phela akutsebe hore ke rena.
Masandawana would say the following. Because Masandowns are used to this thing. But ujiga kamnandi, Themba Zwan. But having said all that, when you look at this, how much do stats matter, Bramusi? Because you look at stats, you say Orlando Pirates has always beaten Sundowns in terms of cup competition in recent times. But when it comes to the league, Sundowns have made the league. I think the first time that Pirates beat Sundowns was
last
2-1.
Yeah.
2-1. But Sundowns have made sure that in the league, they dominate that fixture. How much do stats play a role in that? Do you use it to motivate yourself? Do you use it to be able to say, we can break those stats?
Yeah, well, for me, they don't really mean anything. I think maybe in previous years, the way the league was panning out, it was almost a certainty it was done. Maybe 8 games left, you know. But in terms of the cup competition, maybe that's all you have to play for.
Yeah.
You know, so that is what I'd say is was the difference. Whereas now, it's literally, it's on the line. It's almost like that beauty pageant where three women are left on stage, you know, and then they're going to ask that difficult question, you know. Somebody's going to say world peace. you know, somebody's going to say something that makes completely no sense. And then somebody's going to give the right answer.
The most brilliant of the lot.
That's literally how it feels like now, you know. And so for me, stats don't mean anything. I just think tomorrow's winner, I just have the feeling that tomorrow's winner is going to win the league. I don't know.
I've got a feeling everything is going to be all. Pramusi, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time. Pratsepo, when I can get a prediction, what's the weather going to be like?
Draw.
You predicted draw.
Draw. Yeah, the goal. Draw with goals.
It's going to be a very intense game.
2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
Not 1-1.
2-2.
2-2.
I'm telling you. Baba Sundowns say chaser, Pirates say chaser. So only this guy ofikango Sundowns so kora every weekend this guy.
That guy will pass Pirates.
This guy okora every weekend.
That guy is going to pass.
And then Uto Dala against King of Men of the Matches. Really. So wakora every weekend, really wakora Men of the Match every game. So Kausa needs a battle of stars.
Now I'm looking forward to. I hope Tito at halftime. Haba Munza. He went quickly. He left. And I'm seeing Jaden Adams is the man that's on top of his.
Alena rato profit. So sometimes you go straight to the bathroom.
No, Pramus, you can't say yeah.
No. I'm just saying. I don't know the situation.
You know the certain things Pramus will tell you. The bus can wait 2 hours for you. Because after every game, they may say you're doing tests. Every team in the league hates it because remember your body's dehydrated. They will give you water. It wasn't because the man was pressed. It was other things.
Okay.
But tomorrow it will be beautiful. FNB, best pitch in the country, the biggest pitch in the country. Perfect.
The only venue that Orlando Pirates ba khono shapa Sundowns thing.
Yeah, you'd remember
really.
Orlando Pirates beat Sundowns there 2-1.
Yes.
When you look at this game, this is the game that once upon a time it had the defender of the season, the midfielder of the season, the youngster of the season, player of the season, and goal of the season. If you remember. They came from this particular game. Just that one came at Loftus. Because the defender, the player, everything, they were chasing the goal scorer of the season in Ribeiro.
Okay, right.
But tomorrow, you could Sundowns Robala, don't forget, when I say Silly really made magic happen at Soccer City.
Temba Mshish is back. Temba Mshish.
All you need is 20 minutes.
Really is on form.
Jaden is on form.
Temba Mshish.
Yeah.
But I think this is the best spectacle for South African football. More football.
No, it's the perfect advert to have number 1 and 2 playing each other, both in good form or in good spirit. And, you know, I said there's going to be a winner. You say it's going to be a draw. So I say it's going to be a winner.
There's going to be a winner.
No. That's unfortunately my Wi-Fi ends there. I can't refresh the page.
Okay.
That's just me.
Okay.
When Abratsepo won a lovely draw. A winner, according to Bramusi, wins the league 9 times in a row. Thank you for watching. Or tell your friend we were here. We see you next week. Football Ringers. Sizo ringi Diski. We'll bring people with a bit more knowledge. Hopefully, the teams are still around. Thank you.